Give it up for Cobb Keen.
Good evening, everybody. We've answered Abbott and Costello's question. I'm on first. All right, that didn't fly. Anyways, good evening. Thanks so much for having me tonight. I'm Cobb Keen. I'm a first-time comic and a long-time stage phobic. So I promise you guys I'm going to try and fake it till I make it. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys faked it till I made it, too. I'm no stranger to sympathy, and I'm not turning down a pity joke tonight. So, but taking this comedy class, it's been cathartic, that's for sure, but it's also been one of the most frightening things I've done since my first mandatory minimum sentence. Those actually get easier as you go, but yeah, not comedy class, not comedy class. You think you know what stress is until you take this course. For instance, divorce, you get served divorce papers, you think you're going to be losing your kids. You worried about that? Not this week. You've got comedy class on Tuesday. You wake up wondering, why the hell does this lump keep getting bigger? You're not worried about that. You got comedy class on Tuesday. Worried about that kid hanging around in the bushes, keeps claiming he's your kid? Fuck off, child. I got comedy class on Tuesday. But seriously, take me, for instance. I'm being flown out to Toronto next week. I've known for 3 weeks, and I'm likely getting laid off on Tuesday. Yeah, but honestly, we're facing down an impending recession, record unemployment, and really expensive iceberg lettuce, and I'm getting laid off, and I don't give a shit, all right? In 3 weeks' time, I'm going to be on food stamps, and I wake up worrying about comedy class? Yeah, that's therapy, all right. But seriously, this course has been an eye-opener. I learned very quickly that comics are, by and large, awkward, depressed, and dysfunctional people, right? To which I say to myself, Cobb, you got this, buddy! You got this. You eat awkward, depressed, and dysfunctional for breakfast. I am the textbook definition of awkward, depressed, and dysfunctional, however. I'm a 44-year-old bachelor. I live alone downtown with 2 roommates. One is a corgi and the other a 3-legged hedgehog, Brussels and Sprout. You can't get much more dysfunctional than that. But despite my arrested development, I am maturing. I am. At least I feel I am. I'm starting to say things that adults say, like, hey, let's grab a drink sometime, or say hi to your parents for me, Shit you say to shut a conversation down, but it's never actually going to happen. And kids. I don't really have a problem with kids per se, but I don't really want to listen to you go on about yours. But I'm becoming a little bit more patient with new parents and being more enthusiastic about their offspring. For instance, I was at an event recently, and I saw an acquaintance I haven't seen in years. So I begrudgingly enter into small talk, and I say, hey, how are you? Nice to see you again. What's new? And she says, oh, I'm great, thanks. I had a baby 6 months ago. Ding, 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 ding. Here's my chance to flex some serious adulting, all right? So I get myself ready. I know how to respond to this when enthusiastically I say, well, that's great news. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you both. To which she replies, but he died. Really? You don't think you could have led with the dead baby thing, hey? Give me some inkling. Let me preface this with, or hold that thought, or I had a baby, this baby once 6 months ago. Something that gives me an indication that this thing is dead or on the back of a milk carton somewhere. So obviously I'm not a big fan of social events, It's why I'm happy I'm 44. I'm in the eye of the wedding hurricane right now. I actually experience more divorces than I do nuptials, and that's a good thing, although I am being invited to a lot more funerals these days. That tends to start happening after you turn 40. I'm not a huge fan of funerals either, obviously. Number one, I don't need any more opportunity to observe my own mortality, which also starts happening after you turn 40. Number two, they're morbid affairs. And number three, the food is shit. It's literally shit. Have you ever been to a funeral where they don't serve you a Safeway deli platter of every cold cut and raw vegetable imaginable that you never wanted to eat, right? I'm celebrating 80 years of somebody's life. Their legacy boils down to pimento loaf and cherry tomatoes. Come on. And paying respects, that's always been a head scratcher to me. I haven't seen you in 30 years. We haven't talked in 30 years. I sure as hell haven't asked anybody to say hello to you in 30 years. I barely have a modicum of respect for you as it is, and you're asking me to get up at 10 a.m. and put some pants on a Tuesday? But that's the best thing about funerals, right? You get time off work. Somebody dies, you get the day off. Oh, yeah, go to your funeral. Have a good time. Fuck right, I'm going to have a good time. Weddings? Not so much. Most weddings I'm invited to, I'm being asked to fly to the other side of the world to some destination I never wanted to go to over one of the only long weekends in summer. Fuck that noise. Call me when the bride dies. Thank you so much. I'm Cobb Keen. You've been a great audience. Tell your parents I say hello.